so many people that are on Facebook have mentioned that those pictures and your messages every day lifts them up.
Yes.
It means a lot that you
Yes.
guys do that.
So
Everybody appreciates that.
I put 3 or 4 lines.
Yeah.
I used to put a video, but people don't watch the video. So I put picture.
Yeah.
You know, not related to the quote, but just whatever comes, I'm putting. And people write they don't understand, and I explain more. But I'm not explaining a lot. I'm just putting, so people have to think.
It's funny, I was watching TV last night and they had this women's competition called CrossFit, right, where they do all kind of physical exercise. But one of the things that they did to complete their exercise they did was the same thing that we were doing, the handstand, and they had to walk 40 feet and then cross the finish line to finish their course.
Yes.
And some of the girls, one girl went right through no problem, but a lot of the other girls were having problems. They stopped at like 15 feet and then had to go back down, get back up again and do another 5 feet. And they had a hard time getting to the finish line.
Yes.
But the one that finished all the way, she's the one that won the competition.
Yes. And so
a handstand for 40 feet?
Yep. Handstand, walking on your hands. Yep.
yes.
Shanti used to walk around the floor all the time.
Yes, and I got into discipline that I walk 100 steps. And that becomes kind of ego or stubbornness or discipline that why not, you know?
Yeah.
Don't want to go. But then I realized you don't need to push yourself, you know? So again, you know, it's a fine line in discipline. If you become too lenient, you become lazy. And you become too aggressive, you can push yourself. So these are the things. So I except wheel posture, I almost did all of them. Not as good as that, but I not have preparation, which is
Spontaneous, yeah.
just spontaneous, like usually preparation for a couple of days to just shape up and thing, but I not do it.
The only reason why we did it is because it was fine, nice and cool.
Yes.
The weather was nicer.
Yes.
It's so hot, you know. It's hard. It would be hard to do it in the heat.
Yes.
You're doing hot yoga then, Shanti.
Yeah.
So we can do postures or anything. Any overall thing? Okay.
I have a question about the length of the practice if you're doing the postures and stuff. 'Cause I thought in the beginning you were saying that you do the postures in order to be able to sit quietly
Yes.
in order to go into meditation.
Yes.
And so maybe the amount of discipline or the amount of practice you need is dependent upon your ability to meditate.
Yes.
And there's some way you can, if you've come to a point in your postures where you're able to sit comfortably,
Yes.
maybe that's enough in order to facilitate the meditation.
Right. Right. So this is why one has to learn. You know? But like on the other hand, it becomes escape. For so many people, yoga is just to sit quietly. So those who practice Buddhism or other thing, they ignore yoga position, other thing. Well, it's not, nothing is said. So they become escapist. So if they did yoga, they did breathing, they would definitely get help, provided they use as a means. So sitting steadily is the ultimate thing. But probably doing meditation also helps doing the postures properly and gracefully. So it's back and forth. When you control the body, your mind gets control. Control the mind, body gets control. So body, breath, and mind, they work.
Balance them all together. Yeah.
Right, they work together. And I hardly see, any. Just on the Facebook, they put exercise and all this. All seems like they're straining and pushing and pushing. It just doesn't seem like they're doing gracefully in a natural way. Yeah. So it should come naturally. That's the point. Okay. So any posture, breathing, meditation, just other kind of question. Okay. So anyone has any particular thing we may do some stretching, mantra chant, meditation.
I have just another small question. In the early on in yoga, the people lived a lot, had a shorter lifespan,
Yes,
and now we have a longer lifspan.
yes,
And so the philosophy or the interpretation of our lives was based on that shorter lifespan.
yes.
Is there any change that we would need to consider now, considering that we're living longer, in terms of any philosophy or any concepts? Because, for example, if we're thinking about like Kali Yoga and the interpretation of time,
Yes,
or reincarnation and karma, and we have, these past lives keep coming back. Well, it may have been different back then because you were living shorter
yes,
amount of time, and now we're not.
yes,
It's almost double. I'm thinking maybe triple.
yes, yes. So when life is short, then you become more serious. You know, like I have only so much time, so that let me go in the spiritual direction. So many great masters, they accomplished so many things. Like Adi Shankaracharya, he passed away at the age of 32. Swami Vivekananda died very young. Just like at the age of 8 or 10, they started writing scriptures and all the intuitive wisdom. But what they did, they established like 4 stages of life. First stage is brahmacharya ashram, grihasthashram, householder's life. Vanprasthashram is like semi-retirement, and sannyasashram, full retirement. At that time, lifespan was shorter, so they, speeded up those process. Here, they say, well, we live so long, so let me have much more householder life before I can enjoy. And also cultural influence is so strong that people consider worthless if they don't produce something, materially. So people are more into that trend. So when they retire, they should meditate and find peace. They feel like waste of time because there's so much program. Society tells them you are worthless, you are not producing. See? So the tendency is more like enjoy life now and don't prepare. Other way around was exactly opposite. That just the approach was life is illusion. Don't waste time on material progress. Don't go out of town even if you are in hardship. You may get bread and butter, you will be all right. Instead of getting all these things, meditate on God. It backfired because it was escapism. One way. So in that Eastern system, people blame materialism because you get caught in the world. So say meditate, meditate. So you become escapist in a way. So you evolve spiritually, but materially you